And good morning, everyone. David Perry and I are a couple of kids who love to cruise, and we use a ship. And the ship we use sometimes is the Crystal Symphony. There it is,
I tell you, that was my ship. I went around the world on that ship 2.5 times, visited more than 60 countries, all in '98. I called it my early midlife crisis.
Well, David Perry is with us. He lectures on cruise ships, a very good gig. I also do it. But you lecture on a great topic.
I do. You know, ever since I was 6 years old and I saw the movie Titanic, the original Titanic, with my mother in the Late Show with Barbara Stanwyck,
Clifton Webb, Robert Wagner, early on.
That's right. They got the history of what happened that night wrong, but the movie entranced me. And ever since then, I said, I have to work aboard the deck of a ship. And now what I am lucky enough to do, along with my husband Alfredo, is once or twice a year, we take ship and I talk to people about the great age of ocean liners. I call it liner lore.
Tell us about this White Star Line. The White Star Line was the Titanic.
Absolutely. The White Star Line was one of the great lines that crossed the Atlantic. And now, of course, people think of Cunard. Cunard and White Star actually merged and formed a company called Cunard White Star. But the great liners of the early 20th century were white tar ships. The Titanic, the Britannic, the Olympic, Adriatic. These ships were glamorous for first class, and even in steerage, the third class, the immigrants that came over, they really had a class of service better than none.
Gentlemen prefer blondes because we do a talk together.
Oh, my goodness.
We do a talk together about great moments in movies on ships, on liners.
And you got to tell it.
And that was the Ile-de-France.
It was the Ile-de-France. You know, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes is one of the great, what I call, ship movies.
Absolutely.
And they got that right. They really showed, even though it was a bit extreme with all the gymnasts in the pool with Jane Russell, what it was like to be aboard ship during the 1950s.
That was my favorite scene. Are you kidding
Come on, me too.
Yeah, when we show that at the Castro, that is one popular scene.
That is a hit.
But they used the liner for that.
They did. They actually used the Ile-de-France. The Ile-de-France was a great ship, probably the pride of the French line, and it actually had a later history in film. When they retired the ship, it was sold to Hollywood, and it starred in a movie with Robert Stack called Last Voyage.
Right, and poor Dorothy Malone,
I know.
she drowns in that
They drowned, and they blew up the ship, and the people of France were so distraught that the pride of the French line was destroyed. They actually had protests when the movie came out in France.
Whoa! Now, there's so many stories about cruise lines. Of course, the Poseidon Adventure always comes to people's minds.
Absolutely. You know, the Poseidon Adventure was filmed aboard the Queen Mary, and a lot of people don't know that scene when it turns over and the
glass, they fall through the top, the ceiling.
Well, wonderful little bit of Hollywood history that you probably know. That is the skylight in the Biltmore Hotel in Hollywood, where the first Oscars were.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
That's so amazing. You are. This is such a wonderful lecture. I've heard you lecture, and you are. You know, we're together. We both have that passion for what we do.
It's funny. You know, I never cease to be amazed when I go aboard ship and people say, "Will you talk about the Titanic?" I'm like, the last time I gave this lecture, I was actually in the North Atlantic with icebergs, and I said, "Are you people okay? I'm talking about the Titanic." Yeah.
Let's do it again. All right, now let's tell people how they can get a hold of you.
Well, the easiest way, remember my name, David Perry. You go to www.davidperry.com. You can get a link to my lectures. Actually, later this year, we're going to be lecturing aboard a gorgeous ship, the Paul Gauguin, in Tahiti.
Tahiti, baby. Whoa, look out, South Pacific. Okay, thank you so much, David. I just love your enthusiasm, and you're a great lecturer. And that's because you have passion. Here I am lecturing on something I'm passionate about. Real glamorous. Glamour in the movies, including Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. It's at the Walt Disney Family Museum in San Francisco on Sunday, February 20th. There's going to be food, because I also do food and wine in the movies. So www.waltdisney.org to come and see me then, and then also go through that fine museum. DavidPerry.com. Check it out. And let's go back to Isabel and Marty.
David, I can carry luggage.
I can help her carry luggage. Tahiti's sounding really good.
Thanks for coming.
All right, let's check in with